The story of the forbidden fruit is one of the most famous and enduring narratives from the Bible, deeply intertwined with the account of Adam and Eve's original sin in the Garden of Eden. This tale, commonly associated with the book of Genesis, is often seen as a symbolic explanation for humanity's fall from grace and the introduction of sin into the world. However, beneath the surface of this well-known story lies a far more intricate and mystical history, one that extends beyond the traditional biblical narrative and ventures into the realm of ancient prophecy and esoteric knowledge. Few are aware that the ancient prophet Enoch, a figure who has long intrigued scholars and theologians alike, had profound mystical visions and experiences that took him beyond the boundaries of ordinary human understanding. Enoch's writings, which are not part of the canonical Bible, but are preserved in apocryphal texts, describe his extraordinary journey into the heavens and his encounters with divine beings, revealing knowledge that is often considered too enigmatic or complex for mainstream religious teachings. Among Enoch's many revelations was an encounter with the Garden of Eden itself, a place of unimaginable beauty and spiritual significance, yet also a site of deep mystery and cosmic consequence. In his visionary journey, Enoch not only walked within the garden, but also uncovered hidden truths about its origins, its purpose, and the nature of the beings who once inhabited it. Most intriguingly, Enoch's writings explore the nature of the forbidden fruit, a symbol that has been the subject of debate and speculation for millennia. While traditional interpretations have often reduced the fruit to a mere test of obedience or a simple allegory for temptation, Enoch's account suggests a much more profound and multifaceted understanding of what the fruit truly represented. According to Enoch, the fruit was not merely a literal object, but a manifestation of divine knowledge, a gateway to a higher realm of understanding that humanity was not yet prepared to grasp. The consequences of consuming the fruit, therefore, were not just physical or moral, but metaphysical, altering the very fabric of human consciousness and opening the door to knowledge that was both enlightening and dangerous. Enoch's descriptions of the fruit and its effects invite us to reconsider the traditional narrative of the fall, prompting us to ask deeper questions about the nature of knowledge, the boundaries between the divine and the human, and the true cost of enlightenment. The key question that Enoch's writings seek to address is, what was the real nature of the forbidden fruit that led humanity astray? Was it simply an act of disobedience, or did it represent something far more complex, a pivotal moment in the spiritual evolution of humankind? Enoch's journey into the Garden of Eden, as recorded in his visionary texts, offers us a fresh perspective on this age-old story, one that challenges conventional interpretations and opens the door to new possibilities. His revelations suggest that the forbidden fruit may have been a symbol of humanity's latent potential, a potential that, once awakened, could not be easily controlled or undone. In this sense, the story of the forbidden fruit is not just a cautionary tale about sin and punishment, but a profound exploration of the delicate balance between knowledge and ignorance, free will and divine order, and the eternal tension between human aspiration and divine will. As we delve deeper into Enoch's mystical writings, we begin to see that the story of the forbidden fruit is not just about the past, but also about the future. It is a story that speaks to the eternal human quest for knowledge, the dangers of overreaching, and the possibility of redemption through understanding. By exploring Enoch's visionary journey into the Garden of Eden, we are invited to reconsider one of history's most enduring questions and to contemplate the true nature of the forbidden fruit that changed the course of human history forever. Common misconceptions about the forbidden fruits. Traditionally, the forbidden fruit is often depicted as an apple. This representation has endured throughout Western art and literature, forming a cultural archetype that persists today. However, this notion of the apple is not biblically supported. The Bible refers to the fruit simply as the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, without specifying its type. This leaves room for interpretation, leading scholars and theologians to explore various possibilities about what Eve actually consumed. As we delve deeper into Enoch's account, we will discover that the true identity of this fruit may be far more complex and symbolic than any simple fruit we encounter today. Enoch's journey to the Garden of Eden. In the book of Enoch, Enoch is taken on a spiritual journey to various heavenly and earthly realms, including the Garden of Eden. To where His visit to the garden is detailed and filled with vivid descriptions of the environment, the trees, and the overall atmosphere. Unlike the relatively simple depiction in Genesis, Enoch provides a more elaborate picture, portraying the garden as a place of divine beauty and mystery. He encounters magnificent trees with a variety of fruits, each possessing unique characteristics and meanings. His account is not merely an observation, but an exploration of the deeper spiritual truths represented by these fruits. The description of the tree of knowledge. Enoch's writings provide a specific description of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. According to his account, this tree was unlike any other in the garden, possessing a unique aura and bearing fruit that was different from all the others. The fruit itself had a glowing quality, emitting a radiance that made it stand out among the other trees. This luminescent appearance was not just a physical characteristic, but symbolized the spiritual power and profound consequences that came with consuming it. Enoch's vision implies that this fruit was not just meant for physical nourishment, but carried significant spiritual implications. Symbolism and significance of the tree's fruit. In his visions, Enoch perceives the fruit as embodying the knowledge of both good and evil. The act of consuming it represented a transition from a state of innocence to one of awareness and moral responsibility. The fruit was symbolic of the choice between obedience to divine command and the pursuit of one's own path. By choosing to eat the fruit, Eve and Adam embraced a form of enlightenment that came at a steep price: separation from God and the loss of their original state of grace. This symbolism extends beyond the physical appearance of the fruit, offering insights into the nature of human free will and divine judgment. The appearance and nature of the fruit. According to Enoch, unlike the apple, which is often imagined as the forbidden fruit, Enoch describes it as having a texture and appearance unlike any earthly fruit. It is said to resemble a blend of multiple fruits with a complexity in its color and form. The fruit had an intoxicating fragrance that lured Eve into its presence, making it irresistible. Its skin appeared to change colors, reflecting the multifaceted nature of knowledge itself, both the light of truth and the darkness of deception. The very nature of the fruit, as described by Enoch, suggests that it held more than just physical properties. It was a manifestation of deeper spiritual realities. Enoch's encounter with the guardian of the garden. During his visit to the garden, Enoch encounters a powerful angelic being who is assigned as the guardian of the sacred space. This being provides Enoch with insights into the role of the forbidden fruit in the grand design of the cosmos. According to the guardian, the tree was placed in the garden as a test of faith and obedience, with the fruit serving as a gateway to divine knowledge. It was not inherently evil, but carried the weight of the consequences of disobedience. The fruit's role was to offer humanity the choice to follow God's will or to seek their own path of understanding. The consequences of consuming the forbidden fruit. Enoch's account expands on the repercussions faced by Adam and Eve following their decision to eat the fruit. He portrays the act as more than a mere transgression. It was an initiation into a new realm of existence, marked by suffering, toil, and the burden of moral consciousness. The knowledge gained was not merely intellectual, but existential, impacting every aspect of human life. Enoch suggests that this fruit introduced duality into the human experience, creating a continuous struggle between good and evil within the soul. The awareness brought by consuming the fruit was both a gift and a curse, altering the course of human history forever. The nature of the tree's forbidden status. The notion of forbidden implies that there were certain boundaries established by God, meant to be respected by His creation. In Enoch's revelations, he emphasizes that the forbidden nature of the fruit was not because the fruit itself was evil, but because it represented a knowledge that humanity was not yet ready to comprehend fully. The prohibition was a protective measure, meant to safeguard humanity from knowledge that could lead to its own downfall. By eating the fruit, Adam and Eve crossed a divine threshold, prematurely grasping for wisdom they were not equipped to handle. What the forbidden fruit truly represented. While traditional interpretations focus on the fruit as a literal object, Enoch's writings suggest that it symbolizes something deeper: knowledge itself. It was not about the fruit's physical properties, but what it represented: the ability to discern right from wrong, to make moral choices, and to understand the consequences of one's actions. This kind of knowledge was previously reserved for God alone, and by seeking it, humanity ventured into realms of divine comprehension. The fruit thus serves as a metaphor for the pursuit of wisdom and the complex relationship between divine will and human free will. Enoch's warnings about misinterpreting the fruit's significance. Enoch cautions against viewing the story of the forbidden fruit solely as a historical or mythological event. He emphasizes that it serves as a timeless lesson about the nature of temptation, choice, and the pursuit of knowledge. The danger lies not in the fruit itself, but in the desire to obtain wisdom without considering the costs. Enoch's message is a reminder that spiritual truths cannot be grasped through physical means alone, and that the pursuit of enlightenment must be tempered with humility and obedience to God's will. The role of the serpent in Enoch's account. While the book of Genesis attributes the temptation to the serpent, Enoch's writings offer additional details about this enigmatic figure. In his visions, the serpent is not just a cunning creature, but represents a spiritual force of deception. It plays a crucial role in luring Eve towards the fruit, appealing to her desire for wisdom and enlightenment. The serpent's words were not entirely false. They contained elements of truth mixed with deception, making the temptation all the more compelling. Enoch suggests that the serpent's influence was part of a larger cosmic struggle between divine forces and rebellious spirits. The deeper implications of eating the forbidden fruit. Enoch's revelations delve into the profound changes that took place within Adam and Eve after consuming the fruit. It was not merely a physical act of eating, but a spiritual initiation into the knowledge of duality. This newfound awareness brought about feelings of shame, guilt, and a loss of innocence. They were no longer simply living beings, but became self-aware in a way that made them conscious of their vulnerability and mortality. The forbidden fruit, therefore, symbolizes the beginning of human consciousness and the complex moral dilemmas that come with it. The Garden of Eden as a realm beyond time and space. In Enoch's visions, the Garden of Eden is not just a physical location on earth, but a sacred realm that transcends time and space. It exists on a higher spiritual plane and is described as a place where the divine and earthly intersect. The trees within the garden, including the tree of knowledge, have properties that are beyond human comprehension. The fruit of the tree is therefore not just a part of the natural world, but a manifestation of divine mysteries. Enoch's description suggests that the garden is a place where one can gain insights into the nature of existence itself. What modern interpretations can learn from Enoch? Contemporary scholars often view the story of the forbidden fruit as an allegory, representing the human quest for knowledge and the consequences that come with it. Enoch's account adds a layer of depth to this interpretation by revealing the spiritual dimensions of the story. It challenges the simplistic view of the fruit as a literal apple and instead invites us to explore the symbolic meanings behind it. The lessons Enoch draws from his journey to the garden can offer us guidance in navigating our own spiritual paths and understanding the deeper truths behind biblical narratives. The fruit as a gateway to spiritual enlightenment. Enoch's writings reveal that the forbidden fruit was more than just an object of temptation. It was a gateway to a higher form of spiritual knowledge. This enlightenment, however, came at a great cost, as it also brought awareness of evil and suffering. The fruit was thus a catalyst for human evolution, transforming Adam and Eve from innocent beings into morally conscious individuals. Enoch's insights suggest that the pursuit of wisdom is inherently linked to the experience of both light and darkness, and that true enlightenment requires understanding the balance between the two. The tree of life versus the tree of knowledge. Enoch's revelations draw a clear distinction between the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. While the tree of life symbolizes eternal life and divine grace, the tree of knowledge represents the complexities of moral choice and the burdens that come with it. The fruit from the tree of knowledge was a means of accessing a kind of wisdom that was different from the eternal life offered by the tree of life. In consuming the forbidden fruit, Adam and Eve chose to embrace the struggle of moral existence over the simplicity of eternal grace, the forbidden fruit and the concept of original sin. In traditional Christian theology, the story of Adam and Eve is used to explain the concept of original sin, the inherited state of sinfulness that affects all of humanity. Enoch's writings offer a unique perspective on this idea by framing the act of consuming the fruit as a conscious decision to seek knowledge at the cost of innocence. This choice introduced the condition of sin not as a punishment from God, but as a natural consequence of seeking to know what was beyond human understanding. Enoch's account therefore portrays original sin as an inevitable outcome of the pursuit of wisdom. Enoch's revelations on the redemption of humanity. While Enoch's visions paint a sobering picture of the consequences of consuming the forbidden fruit, they also offer hope for redemption. He reveals that despite the fall, God has provided a path for humanity to be reconciled with Him. The pursuit of knowledge is not condemned, but it must be accompanied by a sincere desire to follow divine guidance. Enoch's message is ultimately one of hope, emphasizing that redemption is possible through repentance and a commitment to living according to God's will. The story of the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden stands as one of the most enigmatic and influential tales in religious history. Generations of scholars, theologians, and thinkers have pondered what Eve might have actually consumed, and the implications of that choice have sparked debates that reach far beyond the narrative itself. The question of whether this fruit was literal or symbolic opens a window into an enduring mystery, one that touches on the very fabric of human existence. Through the writings of Enoch, an alternative perspective emerges, one that challenges long-held interpretations and prompts us to re-examine the significance of this ancient story in a new light. A catalyst for humanity's spiritual and moral growth. The forbidden fruit is traditionally seen as a representation of sin and disobedience, yet it also introduces themes of growth, awareness, and choice. If we consider Enoch's revelations, which suggest a deeper mystical interpretation, the fruit could symbolize more than a mere act of defiance. Instead, it serves as a powerful catalyst in humanity's evolution, marking a transformative moment when human beings first confronted their agency, curiosity, and yearning for knowledge. In choosing to eat the fruit, Eve and Adam embrace a fundamental aspect of human nature: the drive to question, to understand, and to seek truth, even at the cost of innocence. Through Enoch's lens, we might view the fruit not as a forbidden object of punishment, but as a doorway to self-awareness and moral consciousness. Rather than diminishing humanity, the choice to eat from the tree of knowledge opens a path toward greater complexity, depth, and individuality. This interpretation encourages us to see the story not as a warning against curiosity, but as a narrative that celebrates the human spirit's courage and curiosity. It frames humanity's desire for knowledge as a defining feature, an impulse that propels us forward in the quest for wisdom, compassion, and insight. Free will, a blessing and burden. One of the most significant aspects of the forbidden fruit narrative is its exploration of free will, an endowment that defines the human experience. Enoch's perspective reminds us that this story is as much about the gift of choice as it is about the consequence of choice. In the Garden of Eden, Eve's decision symbolizes a moment of profound autonomy, an exercise of free will that is both empowering and consequential. It reflects a deeply human trait, the ability to make decisions, to confront moral complexities, and to bear responsibility for the outcomes. The dual nature of free will, as both a blessing and a burden, has resonated across time, impacting the way individuals perceive their roles within the larger universe. Enoch's writings add nuance to this idea, implying that the forbidden fruit was not intended to shame humanity, but to endow it with a sense of purpose and consequence. The spiritual journey, as outlined through this ancient story, becomes not merely a journey toward perfection, but a journey through learning, failure, and redemption. By acknowledging free will, humanity is entrusted with the profound responsibility of shaping its own path, a theme that continues to inspire introspection and ethical reflection in modern times. Knowledge and the boundaries of divine wisdom. Another pivotal element in the story of the forbidden fruit is the relationship between human knowledge and divine wisdom. The fruit from the tree of knowledge represents the allure of understanding and the boundaries set by the divine. Enoch's writings suggest that this boundary was not arbitrary, but served as a lesson in humility, illustrating the limitations of human perception in contrast to the infinite wisdom of the Creator. Eating the forbidden fruit becomes an act that reveals humanity's hunger for enlightenment, but also its vulnerability to misunderstanding and misinterpretation.
Thanks for watching our latest videos by clicking on the video in the screen, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.